Mr. underscore J Hill everywhere. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it be times where I don't want to do an interview, where I don't want to try to get
Is
interviews.
this something you do before episodes to kind of help?
That's a great question, bro. I think I wake up people like, what motivates you, what drives you? And not to be arrogant, right? But it's me.
What's up?
Life of a hustler, gotta do it for mother, gotta do it for father, even though he act like a sucker. Life of a hustler, gotta do it for granny, gotta do it for brothers, even if they think I don't love them. Been getting active and hustling.
We back with another episode of the More Action Podcast. It's your boy Brandon J. I'm here with Jay Hill. We're gonna have a conversation here at Podcast Summit 2025 about mental health. You know how we keep things going, posting consistently, and a little conversation about relationships, you know? So, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, bro. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate you, bro. I see you grinding.
For sure.
Yeah, man, we here.
Cool. Well, the first question that I was thinking about, because I watch your podcast, you know, a couple episodes here and there, and usually you're pretty raw and uncut. You like to, you know, talking shit, man. And I know that's got to come with a lot of crazy comments. It's got to come with, you know, maybe some backlash, maybe some compliments.
Yeah.
But how do you consistently keep, you know, posting and finding guests to talk to, even though you might be going through something mentally? You know, maybe you're trying to celebrate something, but you need to cancel because you have work to do. You know what I mean?
That's a great question, bro. I think I don't know, bro. I can't really give you a real answer. I know, like, I'm just super resilient. I was just some of this yesterday.
Yeah.
And it be times where I don't want to do an interview, where I don't want to try to get interviews. And I think I just remember the goal always, right? I always remember, like, keep the main thing the main thing. So even times when I don't feel, like, appreciated or I don't want to do an interview and I'm just tired, I'm exhausted, it's like I got to muscle up to continue to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's the best part about it. And I think that's, like, really, like, my superpower, right? Just resiliency and just the ability to continue to go when I don't feel like going. But I think that's really what it is, bro. Just keeping the main thing.
Right.
And just willpower, bro. Really, that's really what it is, willpower.
Yeah, it's a good point to make. Like, a lot of times when I'm about to shoot episode, like, by myself, I try to wind down for 5 minutes, really just go over my thoughts. Is this something you do before episodes to kind of help you relax?
I probably should, but I be moving so much, bro.
Yeah.
Beforehand, I don't even have time to do it, bro. But like you're saying, like, I think, you know, you hear a lot of people who talk about their stories, and I'm not trying to discredit nobody's story, but I really come from that places, right? So it's like, I don't really have, I don't have
Too many excuses?
Yeah, not even excuses, just like, I can't afford not to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've seen the bottom, right? Like, and if I don't do this, I'll be at the bottom. Well, I probably won't be at the bottom because even if I got a job, I'm not going to go back to where I came from.
Right.
But it's just like, I don't have them excuses. So when I wake up, people are like, what motivates you? What drives you? And not to be arrogant, right? But it's me. Like, I don't need nothing else to motivate me. Like, I got a daughter. My daughter don't motivate me. I love my daughter to death. But like, I wake up, I look myself in the mirror, and I know that I gotta be better than who I was yesterday. I gotta be better than the person that I known to be when I was young, when I was in the projects, right? So like, I'm self-driven, I'm self-motivated. So like, bro, that's really, and I'm not just saying it for camera. That's really who I am, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I
that's who I am.
understand, because I work with a couple of people, you know, my age, older than me, and to be honest with you, it's a job. You know, obviously you could just go get another job. I'm always questioning, why y'all so mad? I'm coming to work and y'all seem pissed off that you are at a job you applied for. So if you could come up with, I guess, one story that you can really remember from, you know, just teen years, childhood, that made you think the way you're thinking right now, you know what I'm saying? Depending on yourself, instead of hoping something outside would make you feel better about what you got going on.
Yeah. All right,
Any
so
stories come to mind?
yeah, that's a great question. Let's go back to I never forget, I was in the 5th grade, and at the time I failed twice already, right? So like, we used to have to, and like, back in the day, we used to catch the bus, right? So like, I was on a train, and I'll never forget, like, I used to always talk to the high school kids, or the middle school kids, my bad, and like, because we was the same age. But I would be embarrassed because they would get off a stop before me, because that's where the middle school kids get off at, right?
Not to cut you off, but just let the people watching know where you're from.
Yeah, from Baltimore. Yeah. So I'm from Baltimore. So like, we used to ride a train to school, and I'm in the 5th grade, and like, I'm talking to a 7th graders, right? And mine because I'm behind 2 grades, and we used to always have fun, talk about little experiences and things like that. But they used to get off, and I used to be embarrassed. So I remember at that time, it was at that point I understood that, like, I couldn't depend on nobody but myself, right? Because I used to always get suspended from school. And like, my 3 to 5 day suspensions will always end up to be like a week and a half, because my mom suffered a drug addiction. And like, anytime anybody know about school, when you get suspended, you gotta have a a guardian take you back to school to sign you back in.
Right.
But she can never sign me back in 3 to 5 days because she would be dealing with her illness.
Dang,
so it was at that time when I was in the 5th grade, I'm like, bro, I gotta do this for me. If I say I want to play football, if I want to play football, then I gotta go to college. If I want to go to college, I gotta get good grades. I can't just continue to make excuses about somebody picking on me and I want to defend myself, because that's not gonna get me. It ain't gonna get me nowhere. It ain't get me nowhere from here. So I gotta do what I gotta do for myself to be able to get out this situation. And it was ever since then that when I started thinking about how I think, for sure.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got a couple of friends that are similar to you. Like, you know, they say what they mean what they say.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this one time I was on the bus, just like you're saying. It was probably 7th grade, but a friend of mine, Nathan, I remember this kid just kept talking to him and being mean. And he looked at him and he was like, look, man, you need to be quiet. And then the dude responded, I'm not scared of you. He was like, you don't need to be scared to get your ass beat.
Right.
Like, that's just simple as that. And when he said that, it kind of made me look at how I was handling things. Like, am I letting people push me around or life push me around? But that's good, though, that you noticed that you need to be in control of your destiny at a young age.
Yeah,
you know
facts. 100%.
Well, that's a lot of good advice, honestly, through those stories about mental health. But I want to go into relationships, right? I've been in a relationship with my fiance for 11 years this
Congratulations,
year.
bro.
I appreciate it, man. You did just say, you know, you had a daughter. How is it raising a daughter, first of all? And second of all, how is it dealing with the relationship of, you know, the mother and, you know, are you still with?
No, not anymore, unfortunately. No, I'm not.
Okay, that's fine. But I was just, you know, just relationships in general. How is it dealing with relationships and raising a daughter?
You know, I was just thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fortunate, bro. I got a lot of help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it made me think about the people that don't have the help. Like my mom's, like even like shit, my daughter's mom, you know what I'm saying? Like my friends, and they like that had to raise their kids by themselves. And I'm like, bro, imagine if I had to do this by myself. Like granted, I'm a great father, man, but I got a lot of help. You know what I'm saying? And it's a special experience to like see my daughter like become her own person. Right, to say no to things, say yes to things, like pick up traits from me, like good or bad, right, indifferent. It's just great to see her like come into her own person, and you know, it's just an amazing feeling. And I love that. I think that's the best part about it.
Yeah,
right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think. But dealing with the relationships in it, I think it's again like when we talk about goals, keeping the main thing the main thing. The main thing is my kid, right? So it's like we don't really have time to talk about anything else that's going to be of a detriment to what's going on in my child's life, right? So, and I really don't have, like, to be honest, bro, again, I'm fortunate, bro, like, me and my child's mother, like, we bumped heads when we was in relationships, but, like, we rarely bump heads outside of the relationship when it comes to our daughter. Like, she has her thing. It's like, bro, she's a great mom, you know what I'm saying? She allowed me to be a great dad, and it's like, it's great, bro. I can't even complain. That's why I was like, I'm fortunate. That's all I can say is get the grace of God. But I think it's super important to have a respectable relationship between whoever you're with so you can be in your child's life, right? And I do think that, like, I guess if we're talking about advice or whatever like that in relationships, just understand that, like, no matter how you feel about the person that you with or you was with, the most important thing is the person that the kid that you conceive. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important. Like, don't get discouraged or distracted by the relationship that if you're not with your person, right? Don't get distracted about the feelings that you have for that person, because at the end of the day, that don't matter. It's about your kid. You know what I'm saying? Also, like, I would say, if you're not with your person, like, I ain't gonna say try. I'm not really with a try. Like, be there from the jump. You know what I'm saying? It'll be easier to take care of your kids, because I feel like a lot of men, we make excuses about my child mom won't allow me to see man. I'm not trying. I don't really believe in that shit, and I know I haven't experienced that, so I wanna talk with as much as like I wanna be careful as possible. But at the end of the day, if you're there from the beginning, it's gonna be a hell of a lot harder for her to keep that child out your life. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, and if you wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then me personally, from what I've seen, I experienced with my friends, the judge is only gonna grant the favor of the child's best interest. So if the child was with their mom's full time for 5 years and you come along 5 years later, they're not going to grant you full custody because it don't make sense for the kid. You messing up their patterns. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I think, men, we need to just start taking accountability for like our actions. Even if you own it, they don't make, like I tell people now, don't have to be forever, right? If you was a messed up person tomorrow, don't mean you gotta be a messed up person yesterday. Don't mean you gotta be a messed up person tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to just acknowledge your flaws. Like, I'm flawed. That's a lot of fucked up shit I do. Still to this day, I'll tell you, all this shit, and I still probably go out there and do some goofy shit. I'm just being real.
Yeah,
but I can acknowledge that. You feel me? So like, I just tell men like, own up to your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And just try the best you can each and every day. But when it comes to your kids, bro, be in your kids like from day one. I'm not trying none of that. All that excuses, all them emotions you got for somebody, bro, that shit don't matter, bro.
Yeah, I understand that because I don't have any kids of my own, but I plan to one day. The way that you look at things is exactly how I look at it. You know, whether I end up splitting up or staying together, I'm going to be a part of my kids' life from the jump because my parents split at a young age too. But what I've noticed is both of them had their reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
And for some reason, it always seemed to be about the other parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the next generation, I want to make sure that if I have any reasons to separate or anything, it has nothing to do with the kid because they didn't ask to be here. It's just really good advice.
And be with somebody you like too, bro. We always talk about love, right? But like, I want to be with somebody who genuinely like me. Right? Like, be with somebody who you like. And then also, like, before you get into a relationship, you want to be careful, like, be intentional about the person you're dealing with. Right? Because the things that you don't like today, you're not going to like tomorrow. But what happened is we always try to, like, negotiate with ourselves or put red flags on the back burner because we like somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or because we're attracted to somebody. But no, man, leave with intention, man. Because what's going to happen is you're going to fall in love with somebody that you don't really like. And then it's going to show later on down the line. But if you're with somebody that you really like from the beginning, it'll be easier. So when y'all do have those problems later on down the line, it'll be easier to deal with those problems.
Now, see, do you think that having a daughter created that mindset you just described, or were you thinking a little like that before you had a kid?
It was my breakup. Well, my divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was married and everything. So it's like, I understood, like, not even just me selfishly, like, just understanding that it was things about me that my lady didn't like. You know what I'm saying? For both of us. And I know we compromise with that, with ourselves a lot of times to be with each other. But the same problems that we had in the beginning were the same problems that we had in the end. So now if I could change anything, it's like, yo, I'm being more intentional about the relationships that I have. So when I do deal with somebody, if it's something that if I don't like, I'm not going to put that on the back burner just because I'm interested in this person. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I just had to learn through the breakup.
Okay. Well, see, early on in relationships, a lot of people like to, pretend that they got it all together. So how do you try to bring in, basically the questions of where's your mental health at, or how do you look at relationships early so that way you don't run into hidden issues down the line? Or is that something you haven't really tested too much?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think I'll tell you this right now. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's in my journey, like, I feel like you'll see. Like, you'll see if somebody does things that you're not really rocking with. It's just up to you to take note of that and move intentionally from there. But what happens is we see things like, oh, that ain't a big deal, or that eventually can change. And it's like, nah, bro, like, that, it doesn't take nothing away from that person. It's just that might not be for you, and accept that. But we always want to compromise ourselves for this lost feeling that we have or something like that. But it's like, bro, it's a million people in the world, bro. You can find somebody else.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can't spend too much time trying to fix something that's already been created, because I don't know who it was that said it. I remember now. Ty Lopez. He said after you turn 26 years old, you're pretty much set in your ways. You know how they say you can't teach an old dog a new trick. After 26, we've pretty much decided how we want to go about life, how we want to look at things. So you can still learn, but it's harder after 26. So I can understand how probably dating at this age. How old are you again?
I'm 34.
34. Okay, see, I can understand how dating at this age might be a little, harder, because you never know if somebody is pretending or if they're being for real. And, it's good to meet people like you, man, because honestly, it shows on camera that you're for real.
Man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you. I appreciate that.
So other than the relationships and the mental health, have you enjoyed podcasting, or do you think it's something that you're doing right now just because it's like what you've been doing?
Bro, you ask really good questions, bro. I enjoy it at times.
You enjoy it?
But at times also it is a job and it's a business. So like, I do catch myself doing it just to be consistent because that's what I do. But it's always like them hidden gems. When I just had a conversation the other day with Dreezy, and we had just a genuine conversation, sort of like this one, and it's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? That's what reminds me of why I'm doing it, right? But I mean, sometimes you're interviewing people and they don't want to answer the questions, or they trying to be guarded, or they being fake, whatever it may be. But like, when I have those genuine conversations, it's definitely like, it reminds me why I'm doing it. Like, man, this feels good. This is for the people.
Well, that's good. That's good, because that's why I got into it. I like watching people I look up to have conversations. I like watching people I look up to by themselves just talk, and give information about anything. One memory that's coming to mind is you did a episode with David Shands. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but y'all at one point seemed like it started to
we always be bumping heads. I don't know why.
But I'm telling you, I loved it, bro. I turned the TV up. When stuff like that happens, I'm drawn in because, like I said, I look up to people like y'all. And in my mind, everybody at a certain level gives respect just because, you've made it to this level, kind of like at work. How you'll see coworkers treating each other a certain way. As soon as the boss walk in, though, it's like, let's straighten up, let's act a little more respectable, or not say what we would want to say to a coworker because the boss is around.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that? You know what I'm saying? Talking to somebody that I would say is like, been more popular online or just more money or whatever. Do you ever feel like that with them? Or do you just talk your shit with everyone?
I don't feel like that, but
okay.
I sometimes want to feel like that. So it'd be like let's say me and David Shands bump heads, right? I don't feel like that, so I'm gonna talk how I do, right? But after the conversation, I'll be like, damn, maybe I should have just scaled back a little bit, right? Because I don't want him to feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But genuinely speaking, like that's just not me. I'm always gonna speak my mind, but that can hurt you too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be able to humble yourself or like just shrink down. I don't want to say shrink, but I mean just sometimes you might have to do that, especially when we're talking about getting better opportunities for yourself. Right. So it's not something I go through, but I do think about it though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. See, me, I'm kind of the opposite of you. I have a lot of thoughts that go through my mind, and sometimes I just want to tell people what they need to hear or what I think they need to hear. But I'm more of the pull back. Let me let them live in their
That's
space.
smart, bro.
But that's why I said, me and you talking like this, it really helps me understand that I can speak my mind, even with people that I feel deserve respect because of where they are in life.
And you can be respectful if you speak it like I'm never like one thing. I respect David Shands because of who he is, right? Like a lot of people see him for what he done, and that's dope. Don't get me wrong. Like he built a podcast. I mean, he built some great things, bro. But you gotta understand, I go to church with David Shands. Like I understand why he do these events on Thursday and Friday and not Friday and Saturday and Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, I see him as a man, as a father, as a husband. So like those are things that like that's why I look up to him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I call him my mentor, because like he really lives. He really embodies what it be to be like a real man, a genuine person. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I don't see the stuff that he built because I'm looking at him as like just the man that he is. You know what I'm trying to say? So like and I got infamous amount of respect for him. So it's nothing wrong with still being respectful and like speaking your mind, but I'm never going to like ever. I probably never go toe to toe with him to the extent of it seems like disrespect. Yeah. So much so like one of his people was like, man, you need to bring David Shands on your podcast with it because it seems like
that would be a good episode.
It seems like you be having too much like respect for him, like you don't be fully being yourself on the show. I be fully being myself. I respect him. You know what I'm saying?
Aware of where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my mentor. So I'm not certain things I'm not gonna say. And it's not because of what he's done, it's just because how I look at him as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Cool. Yeah. But nah, that's good. That's good stuff, man. I mean, we're probably about to, cut this in a little bit, but I got one question that I wanted to finish it off with because I got a couple of friends that are like, I want to start a podcast, I want to start a business.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that is, let's say, 20 years old, maybe just graduating high school? What is the main thing they need to do before they commit to something, mentally?
I mean, bro, I say do it, right? But that was my advice a while ago. Like, just do it.
Just do it.
That's easy. But do it like this, though. Like, you see how you got your phone, you got the mics, bro? Yeah. I think this is the perfect way to do it because now if you get 20 episodes on your phone,
right,
you'll see if you want to do it, right? And as long as you're, because a lot of people look at my content, I want my stuff to look like this. I want it like that, but I took some time to get there, right? But if you do 20 episodes on your phone like this, it one shows you consistency. So then it builds your rapport with your audience, so they see that you for real, right? Two, if you have good conversations, they're gonna watch regardless, right? So if you do this enough times, then the demand will say that I need a camera now. But now you don't just get a camera, because what happens is you buy a camera, you haven't done this, you get fatigued, you get discouraged, and then now you put that $3,000-$4,000 camera to the side, now you wasted your money. Whereas when you do this for 20 episodes, you know you for real. So once you get the camera, you know you ain't gonna stop because you've been doing it with the phone.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So y'all hear what he's saying. It doesn't matter if it's podcasting. Maybe you're starting a hair business. Maybe you're starting a painting business like myself.
Start with what you got.
Yeah, use what you have. If you have to do hair in the living room, do that. You know, don't worry about having a whole, beauty parlor.
A million percent, bro.
Yeah,
a million percent.
Man, it's good advice, man.
Yeah,
good
even
stuff.
like shit, painting. If you might can't afford a canvas, I'm pretty sure there's a lot going to it. Paint on a white piece of paper. Just start posting it, whatever, because people want to see.
Exactly.
And when they see, then it's gonna be like, okay, now I probably need to get the more expensive stuff.
Yeah, release your art at the level you can.
There you go.
Then raise your prices.
A million percent, bro.
See, I'm
1,000,000%,
telling you, it's
bro.
good stuff. I appreciate the conversation,
no problem.
man.
Of course,
you use AI at all?
I do. Yeah. I use AI a lot.
That's what's up. Hey, we're gonna save that for the next conversation. All
yeah,
right.
for sure.
Brandon Jay Hill. We just had a good conversation. Relationships, mindset. We'll catch y'all on the next episode of More Action Podcast. You go ahead and let them know where to follow you.
You can follow me everything, Mr._J Hill, everywhere, all social media platforms.
Nice.
YouTube network, Mr. J Hill Network.
Yes, sir.
We out. Peace. My God, that was good, bro.
Even if they think I don't love them, been getting active and hustling.